Hey everyone, it's I, the real Randy Chavez, and I'm coming at you today with a VeVe OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome, and if you're not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say, where's Dashi? Dashi, my famous dog statue, is in New York protecting the house as always. Now, there's a ton to go over today, and you can tell by the title there's a lot. VeVe grosses 250,000 in Blackpink week number one. Is VeVe anti-Web3 and is OMI dead? Ask me anything. Well, Chavez, why would you put such a clickbaity title? Well, that is the question on a lot of people's minds. Is VeVe anti-Web3? Is OMI dead? And why is this happening now? Why are you going over this now? Well, the Paul Barron Network, and we'll get really into him over the next couple of minutes. Paul Barron Network, which they go and they follow me. If you can go and take a look at they choose to follow people that are influential over in on Twitter. And they posted never forget the few companies who raised money and later abandoned Web3 in the bear market, which by itself is, okay, well, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the companies that raised money and they kind of declared bankruptcy, like Recur or Quid or all these other companies that had raised money and they just failed? Or are you talking about people that raise money but they choose to pivot to something else? Now, the reason I bring him up is because after he goes and says abandoned Web3 in the bear market, he puts the hashtag on VeVe. And what he does is he talks about Yatsu, he tags Yatsu, and he tags Kyle Wilson and Animoca Brands, which he's funded by. Now, Kyle Wilson is somebody that does not work for his company anymore. Kyle Wilson used to work for the company, but Kyle Wilson does not work for them anymore. Unsure why that they had gone on and tagged him, unless it's just trying to get clout. And Yatsu, who is the person over in the photo, this is a really interesting one because he's clearly taking shots at VeVe. And we had a response from our Ecomi community manager, Foster Hill, saying, given the top-notch journalism your platform is built on, I wouldn't expect you to know the difference between building and abandoning. It's kind of a cheap shot of his own. While we're on the topic, I guess it's good that we won't forget when you called VeVe Web 2.5, as well as the few Web3 companies you ranked above VeVe that don't exist anymore. Looking forward to watching yet another take of yours age incredibly poorly. Given the engagement your platform gets, I'd also be doing anything for a couple of likes, though. Their platform the Paul Barron Network has like 80-something thousand followers, and I get more followers than them, having a fraction of their followers. Paul Barron himself has over 100,000 followers, and again, most of my tweets, most of my interactions get a lot more interaction than his. But when Foster Hill goes and says, given the top-notch journalism, I wouldn't expect you to know the difference. Okay, well, what is he talking about? Well, there's a bunch of things that he's talking about. This is not the first time that Paul Barron has said VeVe is dead. Since the beginning of 2023, again, going back over a year, the Paul Barron Network has been targeting VeVe in an apparent attempt to undermine the platform while subsequently propping up or promoting several other collectible companies in the space. At first, comments made by Paul Barron Network were easy to ignore and did not warrant a response. Seeing other companies receiving praise or attention could be used to light a fire under VeVe to innovate and grow. After all, a rising tide raises all ships. However, as 2023 progressed, there have been a clear and repetitive escalation of comments made by Paul Barron Network towards VeVe, attacking both the direction and credibility of the platform and culminating in the statement by Paul that said VeVe is dead. And again, he said this more than once. As a reminder, again, Paul had once stated, as a reminder to the VeVe crowd, Paul Barron states that we are pro-Web3 and the future of self-custody and experience is ultimate. What we see in the space today needs to adjust before it's too late. And again, this was from almost a year ago, 31 May of 23. Now, the statement comes off the heels of Paul sharing a clip from his video, VeVe Becomes Anti-Web3, wherein the speculation occurs on potential delays and scaling issues within VeVe. The video was released 1 month after April 2023 VeVe community update, in which VeVe addressed concerns with several areas of their development, much of which has progressed since then, including the onboarding of new teams in key areas of growth and engagement. Paul Barron further perpetuates the anti-Web3 narrative while sharing a clip from Yatsu, who is the chairman of Animoca Brands, who discusses the belief that Web 2.5 companies are not needed to onboard to Web3. Now, Sue does not mention VeVe in his clip, but Paul Barron Network makes a point to specifically reference VeVe as a target of Sue's comments. Paul Barron also goes on to tag several brands, including Animoca Brands, as well as Quid and Mochaverse, both of which are founded or funded by Animoca. And now, obviously, Quid has since declared bankruptcy and are gone. But Sue goes on to state that the mechanism to bridge people from Web 2 to Web 3 is financial literacy. However, Sue also notes that only 1 to 3% of the world is financially literate, which clearly illustrates the massive barrier to entering Web 3 that currently exists. Anyone ever try to get their grandma to make a MetaMask? It's not really doable. But at the time, our Ecomi community manager, who was not Ecomi community manager then, had drafted a response to Paul Barron Network speaking on the barriers to entry and how having avenues such as VeVe to onboard users who needed extra education could coexist alongside fully native Web3 options, which already exist in the space. Now, Foster Hill goes on to say, I think it's pretty naive to assume that people can be educated and onboarded seamlessly without providing the masses the tools to bridge the gaps which currently exist. He talks about how everyone has a bank account, but not everyone knows how to invest. The solution is to teach and educate people on how to invest. You don't just give them a brokerage account and say good luck. To ignore the iterative process needed to bridge the existing gaps is a disservice to the space as a whole. When Foster first got into crypto, it took him several YouTube videos asking on social media and losing or misplacing funds in order to buy. And he goes on to say the masses already have misconceptions about Web3, crypto, and NFTs to begin with. A certain amount of hand-holding and warming people up is a thing that's always a good idea. It's not as if NFT projects don't exist in Web3 that allow people to fully onboard and integrate immediately. There's no reason why projects that provide users with a stepping stone is a bad thing. VeVe has sold over 8 million, which is now over 9 million digital collectibles over a period of 2.5, which is now 3 years. And there's obviously a user base who enjoys the project for what it is. Could there be improvements and bridges towards a more Web3 centric ideology? Of course. But Foster's mom doesn't have time to learn how to set up a MetaMask, buy crypto, deal with gas fees, and deal with a private key and self-storage. She will continue to use her card to buy Winnie the Pooh in a few minutes because she likes it, though. And he goes on to say that Paul Barron has a disappointing take. Now, Paul Barron appears to show support the view of Yatsu, but upon further investigation, it's clear that this goes directly against assertions that Paul himself makes about the Web3 landscape and the ability to onboard users in the space easily. Alongside the Paul Barron Network, Paul is also the CEO and founder of REVER Networks, founded in 2015. At last I checked, Paul still has himself listed as CEO on LinkedIn. Now, REVER focuses on blockchain technology, metaverse, NFT, and crypto gaming, connecting companies to the next generation of technology. On their website, REVER offers consulting services for organizations looking to navigate the complex world of Web3, and they understand the transition from Web 2 to Web 3 can be challenging. Now, if we go on and we review the tweets written by Paul Barron Network about VeVe in 2023, you can observe that Paul Barron Network also began to cover several projects owned or funded by Animoca brands such as Quid and Cryptoids. Again, Quid is gone. But before the start of 2023, Paul Barron Network mentioned or interacted with Animoca brands, a company founded in 2014, 0 times on their platform. From January 1st to today's date, Animoca has been mentioned a couple dozen times. Now, before the start of 2023, Paul Barron mentioned or interacted with Quid, which is owned by Animoca, since around 2017, a total of goose egg times on their platform. Again, just another word for 0. From January 1st of 2023 to today's date, Quid has been mentioned 24 times. Before the start of 2023, Paul Barron mentioned or interacted with Yatsu, who's chairman of Animoca, again, 0 times on their platform. But from January 1st to today's date, Sue has been mentioned a total of several dozen times. Before the start of 2023, Paul Barron mentioned or interacted with Cryptoids, created in 2021 by On-Chain Studios in receivers of $23 million in funding round by investors, including Animoca, 0 times on their platform. From January 1st to today's date, Cryptoids has been mentioned dozens of times. Paul Barron cites their biggest issue with VeVe being that the project is anti-Web3. Now, again, VeVe has released monthly community updates several times over the last few years, which included feedback on interoperability, which is part of their long-term objectives, which they will get at some point. Paul Barron Network released a video on Cryptoids on 19 May of last year, referring to it as everything we've been asking for a long, long time, end quote. Now, to date, Cryptoids has no secondary marketplace, no cash out of funds, and no self-custody. Supposedly, interoperability is on its way, and I believe them, and I'm rooting for them. But on 5 May of last year, Paul Barron Network released a ranking of different platforms in the digital collectible space, and he ranked the projects on several different categories. Flowverse, Quid, and Wax all beat out VeVe on their overall rankings, and all three are funded by Animoca. Huh, you think somebody's paying him to say this stuff? Now, is VeVe dead? Again, VeVe has sold over 9 million digital collectibles and comics to over 650,000 users across the globe, netting hundreds of millions in proceeds for their business, as well as major licenses such as Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Lamborghini, and hundreds of others. While every drop might not sell out immediately, or sometimes even at all, VeVe does continue to build despite market sentiment, consumer confidence, or any of the other factors that affects companies' ability to be successful in this emerging market. Now, don't get me wrong, a certain amount of criticism is rightly deserved, and there are many things that VeVe can do to be better. But one thing that this project has and will continue to have over every other space is the community that it's built. Now, if you talk about every objective and measurable metric, no, VeVe's not dead. It was never dead. It's not dying. So long as the community supports it, it never will. Something tells me that Paul's going to be regretting this decision for a very long time. And I know what you're saying. Okay, Chavez, you're trying to dunk on him right here. Well, who the heck are you? Well, I don't know how long you have here. I've already been talking for 11 minutes, but let's just, I'll read you a tweet that I had written several months ago. A quick story on how and why I put in over $500,000 into VeVe and OMI. Now, going back to 2016, I was just talking with my good friend Ernie about me being in the military. There were a lot of senior enlisted who tried to get me to stay in the military because, according to people that had never been in the job market before, it was hard out there. In January of 2017, I started college, got straight A's, and had a part-time job. In the summer, I got a full-time job at a private bank, my first job in finance. Had around $2,000 to my name. Whereas people could be complicated and tricky, once I saw numbers, everything made sense. And within a few weeks, I immediately opened up my own business under their umbrella. Absolutely nobody believed me. Nobody thought I would make any money. But once I started to, I immediately began lending it out to business owners who had between 500 and 600 credit scores. Everyone told me I'd lose all the money I'd started making. And to their credit, I had nothing to show for it, as everything went into these high-risk lending deals. In 2018, when I had 2 organs fail within 4 months, I was in the hospital and decided to fulfill a childhood dream and started buying Pokemon cards. First edition PSA 10. Now, everyone told me that I was an idiot for spending my hard-earned money, my hard-earned cash on children's cardboard. But just like the numbers on people's bank accounts, the sales, circulating supply, and patterns all made sense to me. In 2019, my good friend got me into stocks. Uber, Apple, Google, Facebook, etc. I never did a deep dive on a company until I saw a video of Elon Musk. I like how he thought like me and was disrupting an entire industry. I learned more about the Tesla company than 99.9% of people on Earth and started selling my blue chip stocks so I could buy more Tesla. This is where everyone told me I was going to lose my shirt. The company's stock hadn't moved in 6 years. They weren't profitable. The CEO had mental health issues. The cars went on fire and everyone was fighting. How could they not see it? I finally had over $100,000 in assets at this time, which is a 50x gain in 2.5 years, mind you. But I threw all my new money into Tesla because of Elon and what he was doing. Now in 2020, during the K-shaped recovery, I saw the deal of a lifetime. A PSA 10 Trophy Kangaskhan, one of the rarest Pokemon cards in the world in the highest grade. The last time this card sold, it was only $25,000. So me and the seller reached an agreement for $80,000. I started selling most of my collection for it, and absolutely everybody on God's green earth told me I was an idiot, even people in the Pokemon community. So much money had gone into base set cards. Why didn't they think that money would flow into trophy cards? Didn't they know I've been right about these things in the past? Well, people will finally believe in me once this happens. In 2021, I found the VeVe official company and their OMI token. That card I spent $80,000 on the year prior, I'd sold for $279,000. It was the greatest flip in Pokemon history and is still the highest sale for a Trophy Kangaskhan to this day. And it all went into OMI. The stocks I sold went into VeVe and the Ecomi ecosystem. And later that year, I finally became a millionaire. I was like, okay, Chavez, that was X amount of time ago. What else has been going on? Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of frustration with the OMI token this bear market. Much of it comes as we enter the bull market and the token's current utility. But speaking of utility, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. MC1. How are
Hey,
you?
Randy, how's it going?
I'm doing very well. How you doing?
You're doing good, man. Thank you for having me on the channel.
Very cool. Very cool. I was just going over a couple of things, and I guess I could ask. Let me know if you want me to ask you about this. If you want to go straight into the Ecomi Secret Rare OMI utility. Do you want me to ask you about Paul Barron and his tweet today?
No, I don't want.
Okay, all right. We will go straight into the VeVe Secret Rare logo utility.
Okay.
So we've had a lot of utility over the last couple of years, whether it's getting into parties, whether it's getting, physical stuff, whether it's getting clothes, or things that you can redeem and receive airdrops for. But earlier today, I was on a call with Shantali.eth, who is the co-founder of Metabrew Society and a founder of a couple of other things as well. But Metabrew, what they do is typically you have to buy one of their NFTs. It costs about $800. And when you do, you can get in a total of about 240 cans of their beer per year. But for VeVe, the gold and silver digital collectibles, she said, hey, let's do a collab. I said, okay, that'd be great. We talked off camera a little bit and we said, oh, she gets a bunch of these tokens that you can go and redeem for those free beers. And I was like, okay, let me know what the shipping is. Let me know what the cost is in order to get some to the VeVe logo family. Now, I decided to myself say like, hey, I'll do a raffle, and the 10 people that make the raffle, we can make it a competition or it could just be a raffle, whatever you want. Yeah. They will get free beer from the Metabrew Society. Obviously, you have to be 21 and over to enjoy it. But that's just one of the things that we're doing. Metabrew Society has almost 16,000 followers over on X. She's very excited to do this. What are the thoughts that you might have on, they're based out of Germany. What are the thoughts that you have on being able to potentially do other collabs or making this collab even bigger with her?
First of all, thank you for setting this up, Randy. You're like, you're like the ideal dude, man. You just literally are one of the best spokesmen when it comes to these things. You're an excellent, ambassador, sponsor. So, I'm really, very, very happy to have you as a friend, and glad that you're doing so much here. Yeah, right back at you, buddy. There you go. There you go.
Wait, do the heart thing. do the heart thing.
It doesn't mean I don't want it. It's just like,
okay.
Randy, there's too much bromance going on here, brother. But anyway, listen. Look, real talk. So first things first. That's my friend Ferris.
Oh, you can go after that, and I can keep going.
So let me get that later. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So a couple of things. The VeVe Gold logo group is a very special group. While I founded the group, I don't want to be the guy who makes all the decisions in the group. I think it's something that we make collectively. So that's the first thing. I think we're all in it together. We make a decision together. That's number one. Number two, I'm a very, very, very big believer that I want the people that are in the group to have maximum benefit. Forget anyone who's outside the group first. In the group, if you have a business, whether it's a merch business, a shoe business, a tax business, a whatever business, by virtue of being in that group, you can talk, you can present your idea to anyone. So that's number one. If you yourself have a logo, that's top priority for me. We will support your business, all of us, logo holders. That's number one. And I think one for all for one, whatever you want to call it, right? That is like the golden rule. This case is a little different because she's not a VeVe Gold logo holder, but she's offered to do a collab. Now, in that case, now this is like the second ring. This is the outer ring, right? Again, it depends on who's sponsoring it. If it's something that you believe, Randy, is a great idea, I want you to just run it by a couple of people, and not just me, and if you have buy-in, because at the end of the day, there's people who have to participate in it. And so as long as you have that buy-in, it's all good. Look at that, man. That guy is a legend.
Yeah.
Sleeping Comics is an absolute legend, man. I love this guy. By the way, thank you for the hats as well, Sleeping. I have all three of your hats, including the white one. And I know Randy has it too. So yeah, you and I have that. But listen, so let's do this. So I like the idea, generally speaking. Let's take it offline. Let's work out what the details are. I think, with alcohol, you just have to be an extra layer of careful because there are government rules, federal level rules, and there's state level rules and province or whatever, and globally. We'll probably work all that out. There's also some rules and restrictions around how you promote alcohol and stuff. But I'm in directionally, and let's figure out how we can make it happen. By the way, I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but I have 2 more logos now, brother.
The Ecomi Secret Rare?
No, VeVe Gold logo.
So you have 3 or 4?
I have 4.
Oh,
I have 4.
oh my man.
Yeah, they were sitting in the market at a really kind of a very interesting price, and I think you guys know I've had a good kind of a week. I had a good 7-figure kind of a week, so I. Have been picking up a few things, giving away a few things. By the way, I've given away like a couple $100 every space, every morning. The Blackpink space, I've given it away for AR competition. Mm-hmm. Just for your audience to know, tomorrow we're giving away $1,000. So me, Dr. Prophet, Dr. Rolex, Tony, and Justin, the 5 of us together. $200 each. We've put together a pool of $1,000. We won't publish it anywhere. It will be in OMI space. We'll announce it. There'll be a contest. You participate. You win. The money's paid out, and you go. Because we don't want anybody from the outside coming in. But I'm letting your guys know, because your guys are like the real audience here. I love them, man. They're all VeVe fam and OMI fam. So, all right. So if you want to make forget Paul, man. Like this. Dude, you gotta just let these guys go, man. It's like next swipe left, right, or swipe. Which way is it, Randy? Sorry, I was already married by the time these apps came out, man. So
yeah, if you don't like it, you swipe left.
Don't like swipe left. Okay, so I think our friend Peanut Butter is swipe left.
Peanut Butter.
I don't want to give anybody a bad name, but if what I'm talking about, Peanut Butter. Swipe left.
So we should
hashtag peanut butter, hashtag swipe left.
Peanut butter. We should talk. And what part of the world were you originally from again?
I'm originally from India. I grew up there.
So
yeah.
I just got invited. Let me hide the number here. Okay. By Prince Manvendra, who is he invited me last year. I just never got to go.
Yeah.
And I'm going in the next couple of months. He says, yes, I'm in India. Please be my royal guest, and let's connect on WhatsApp. We should do a big type of meetup, a big type of collab. When was the last time you've been? Do you want to go? I'm talking about a couple
regularly, man. I'll go whenever you let me know. In fact, I'm overdue a visit, so you let me know when you want to go, and we can go, man. Okay. I really don't work, I work in private equity, so I do different types of deals to buy companies and stuff, and I get a piece of the action. So, whenever there's a deal, obviously I can't go anywhere, but even that I can kind of do from anywhere. So, but yeah, so you let me know, Randy, I'm in, we can go. And
yeah, we should talk off camera, because we have a bunch of, I'm going there for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of which is going to go to talk to him about certain things, but
yeah.
He's a little bit into NFTs. He's very big into art, which you love. You guys would hit it off.
I love art, man. Yeah. Shout out to these guys, man. Shout out to these guys.
Oh, the
London Police, man. This is the art that they had at Letters and Numbers that they had in France. I'm a huge fan of them. And I don't know how many people that have been on Zoom calls with lots and lots of private equity guys, VC guys. They've all seen this stuff. Everybody literally asked me, "Hey, what's that stuff?" And I'm like, okay, when I strike a commission with D-Roy, I'll let you know. Just kidding. Here, tell them all this, London, please. Oh, thank you, Mr. Champ.
Yeah, Mr. Champ says congrats. And also,
he's an amazing guy too, man. There's some amazing people, man, in our community. That's part of the reason. So I'm very big about community, Randy. And there are some incredible people in our community. Incredible. Dr. Rolex, Dr. Prophet, man, people don't know how much money and time and love Dr. Prophet has poured into building out something for Ecomi. And we know, it's like an iceberg. We know only just a very little bit of it. More is getting announced, I think, in a couple of weeks after this Blackpink stuff. But Mr. Champ, sleep in, Comics and Crypto, man, these guys are amazing. Tony, they're amazing people,
Energy,
man.
Energy just reached level 95 on VeVe, so shout out to him.
It's good,
Yeah,
guys.
he's almost on that. Thank you for the hat. My friend Ernie says thank you. He just reached level 100 last month, so we got that hat from you. That was great.
So I have a couple of thoughts for you, a couple of things to share with you, Randy. So go on the gold logo, right? So I know you've been asking questions about a couple of things. So number one is I'm working on putting together a party for San Diego. I haven't set it up as yet. San Diego is sort of my number 2 priority. Usually New York is like number 1 for me. You know, literally New York is number 1. That's the biggest event. A lot of people from Europe come over. It's kind of more people come in there and stuff. But San Diego is equally important. I care about our West Coast VeVe Gold logo holders. So there will be a VeVe Gold and Silver logo holder party in San Diego during San Diego Comic-Con. It's going to be a super special event. I don't know who the artists and stuff are there. Like in New York, I already know who's coming and stuff to my party. Like all the celebrities all coming out, like within the VeVe royalty kind of stuff. Ron English, you know, we'll
I love Ron.
Yeah, Simone, you know, Tokidoki, Peach Momoko. Sorry, Peach. I'm trying to Peach. I'm working on it.
Oh yeah,
she's not coming to New York Comic Con, but trust me, I'm in her DMs and I'm telling her, okay, you don't want to go to New York Comic Con, that's fine. Why don't you come for the VeVe and Mr. MC1 party? You know, we'll commission work too. Like there's a lot of whales in VeVe, man. We'll get like 20 commissions. You know, we'll give her like a lot of business. Just come in. In fact, we'll send the ticket too. You know, Peach, if you want. I don't think she needs it, but. Look, anyway, so we're working on Mumbat. Mumbat will come. Jason Naylor.
Oh, I love Mumbat.
She's amazing, right?
Last year. Yeah, I love her.
And the other one is my favorite is Alison Bamcat. I want Alison Bamcat. Last time she was doing some mural somewhere. You know, I have a lot of love for Alison Bamcat. And then I don't know where Jermaine is. You know, Jermaine's on the West Coast. I don't know if he'll come out to San Diego Comic Con or not, but you know, we'll see. But a lot of artists, celebrities, those kind of things. But I want to have a really big event there. That's part of the whole thing. And then, we do need Peach, man. We do need Peach. Trust me, brother. I am working on it. Trust me, I am working on it. I can show you my, you know, maybe I'll pull it up. I've got my Instagram DM with Peach where I'm like literally, let me see if I can, practically begging, man. Practically begging. So. Anyway, so that's the other one. The San Diego party is one. The New York Comic Con event will be one. Those are my parties. Then there's another one, which is Ron English is working on a party. So yeah, here you go, brother. So this is Peach. I told her, hey, hope you come out to the New York Comic Con event. Your presence is inspiring. She hit love on it. So we'll see what happens, man. Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's and I've told David to work on that angle too. So it's not like, you know, I'm a relatively unknown entity, but David is a known entity, and so we'll see if we can bring her and her husband out as well, man. That'd be awesome. Anyway, going back, so Ron English is planning a very big party there. So Ron has something called Delusion Will. He works closely with Elro, so they have like live characters. You know, in his Delusion Will characters, there's like live people wearing those costumes and stuff. So him and David are planning something. David told him he wants to do something very big. He wants to do multi-level kind of an event in New York, you know, and there'll be a special gold logo kind of a floor. And so if you have a VeVe Gold and Silver logo holder, there will be like some, you know, insane access level like last time. And so that will happen. And no, you know, no hate or anything, man. Like there'll be something for everybody. But I'm just saying, look, that's a special group of collectors. You come out every time, and there's the whole logic is to build out a community of people who come to IRL events. And so, you know, please, if you don't have it, don't feel bad. Don't FOMO into it or whatever. It's quite expensive. You know, I think it's more than $6,000, $7,000. But anyway, so that's that. Then when I was in Austin, David basically said, look, I'm working on a gift for VeVe Gold and Silver logo holders. I said, I got a lot of ideas. He says, no, I've got something very specific in mind. The VeVe fam will love it. So David's got some idea there as well. I don't know when it will be ready. Obviously, there's digital collectibles they give us, you know, when we go to certain events, once a year or a couple times a year or whatever. And then there's this physical kind of a thing as well he's working on, which will be like, you know, I think I have a hint of what it is, but I don't know for sure. I don't want to, you know, say anything there, but it's going to be pretty special as well.
I'll say something. David has said,
Well
I don't
then.
know if he said this publicly or not, but he said that the party this year in New York is going to surpass the party that we had last year.
No, I know that already.
I don't know how he's going to do it. Like last year was pretty wild.
Ron's doing stuff. So Ron is working with Elrose. So, even last year's party was Ron. Ron did like a lot of the video imagery and stuff like that. Ron prepared that. He probably worked with Marvel and Funko and David and stuff like that. But Ron's the guy who's kind of driving that. And Ron's already told me. He's already started the preparation for it, dude. Like, he's already started the preparation for it. Ron English has started preparation for that party already. And they are, in discussion with a pretty big facility that's multi-level, and it's going to be bigger than last time and next level. Anyway, so that's kind of that on the VeVe Gold and Silver logo. And my goal is to create a couple of more things, Randy, on that. So we've started the mentor venture kind of a thing, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're in the VeVe Gold and Silver logo holder group, if you want advice on any topic, whether if it's crypto advice, and it's not just advice, you want to just sort of get a mentoring session, you want to just talk to somebody, whether you want to connect with Dr. Profit or Dr. Rolex or anybody. This guy,
my too, man. He's my man.
He's my man. This guy, he is the most quiet whale. Like our man is just like in the deep Pacific. He's a whale, man. He's doing whale things.
Nobody knows.
Do you know how many one-of-one art pieces this man has?
I saw we had dinner a few months ago, and I saw his entire. I was like, no heckin' way, he's got all of it. Yeah.
So this is a mega guy. If you're not following this guy, man, you're missing out on something. Anyway.
Yeah.
But and he comes out to the New York events as well, so it's cool, dude. Like, Asuk, I want to see you there, brother. This time, I want to see you there, and I want to see you.
Oh, we'll get him to New York. We will get him to New York. Asuk, I'm dragging your ass.
He came last time. He was there last time.
But he's going again.
But anyway, so that whole thing about, if you want to talk to somebody, like you've got multiple CEOs in there. You've got people who CEO of an AI company in there. You got CEO or head of like a nuclear fuel kind of global, guy. We've got lots and lots of people, a lot of real estate guys, a lot of construction guys, lots and lots of kind of appliances, those kind of things. But if you want any kind of entrepreneur too. So one, you can get help and advice from them. Two, if you have a business that you want to start and you're looking for funding, you can pitch it to a lot of whales who kind of invest, including, I'm not calling myself a whale, but I invest in early stage companies. So that'll happen too.
Yeah, I feel like you said, we have nuclear engineers in there. We have other applied, engineers in there. And I feel like I've never posted in the mentor club because it's like, oh, I can teach you about Pokemon. Like I've never, I don't know if I have the right.
No,
stuff.
you could, so you can say both. Like that's basically like even me. Like there may be days that I want to connect with somebody on something else. Like I want to put some money in Pokemon. I want to put some money. So I'm not just the guy who gives advice there. I'm the guy who wants to learn from people there. And I think anybody in there will give you 15 minutes to 30 minutes at no cost, just because you're a VeVe Gold and Silver logo holder. But that's part of the utility there, brother. So So that's another piece of utility for that group, and I'm super excited. And hopefully, by the way, I've looked at the numbers. The most recent numbers say we've got about 90% hodlers in there. So there's only about, by the way, 10% kind of flippers and whatever. Omar, our man, shows up every day in the OMI space, and he participates in the AR contest. He's won twice so far. He won $200 today. I don't know how much he won the other day. It must have been $100 or something. But our man is making bank, man. He is showing up, and he does great work. He is good at AR.
Yeah, he's very good at AR. We have a very similar life. Like we're very similar people. We've met, hung out a bunch of times. Anytime wherever I go, he's like, oh, I'll totally meet you there because he knows New York like the back of his hand. He's a cool dude. He's got an amazing story that once he's ready, he'll come on my podcast and talk about the wildest story you've ever heard.
Awesome. And by the way, Randy, one other thing is, I think you know that I'm a very big supporter of Blackpink. My wife is a Korean American. I've been around the Korean culture now for almost 27 years. And I've attended a Blackpink concert in the metaverse. I don't follow as much K-pop, but I'm into K-dramas. I've watched so many with my wife. And I'm so delighted that VeVe's brought in such a big, this partnership with YG and brought in Blackpink. Obviously, there's our existing user base is not a Blackpink kind of a base. And the new base doesn't know VeVe, doesn't know NFTs, doesn't, even if they figured all those out, they don't know how to get this whole thing done. And to me, that's like it's a trust continuum. VeVe has got this mega IP. They've got instantly tens of thousands of likes and follows. And now they have to build that trust to get there, right? And it's a whole campaign. It's a multi kind of a thing. And so they're going to do a lot of different activities over the next couple of weeks, a lot of different types of drops, mechanics, different price points. And I am super excited about that. But here's how it's connected to VeVe Gold and Silver logo. So I can't announce what I'm doing exactly. I'm still kind of thinking through it. But, and you heard it here on the real Randy Chavez channel first. I will be giving away a VeVe Gold and Silver logo.
No heckin' way.
Tied to the Blackpink campaign.
How do we enter?
So I can't share the details of that. I've asked a few close friends to advise me on how to go about that. It is mine to give away the way I want to, and I can give it literally, I can give it to anybody I want to. I can do whatever I want, but I want to drive some engagement. I really want to drive some engagement from within the community on it. And I know it's much sought after. So I'm figuring out the right mechanic. So it's quite fair. And, I love everybody, right? I really do. I love everybody in our community. And I want to make it a fun thing. There'll always be hate. Somebody will always find fault. Even if it's your own money and what you do, somebody will always find, oh, $50, yes. I know, Omar. I know. You're going to plow those into more collectibles to do what? But yes, so yes, you heard it right. I will be giving away a VeVe Gold logo in the next couple of weeks tied to the Blackpink campaign. You heard it here on the Real Randy Chavez Show. I'm not quite sure what the mechanic is, but I will announce the mechanic tomorrow in the OMI show. So if you show up in that OMI show, I will explain the mechanic to you. And I don't know what it is, by the way, so I have to still figure it out. Okay. I've got some friends. I've made some phone calls. I need some advice on it because it's a very valuable gift. It's a very special gift. It's a very valuable gift.
$6,900 right now.
Yeah.
Ever comment nice down below for the 69?
Yeah. Say that again. What's the price?
6,900. So then I told everyone to comment nice down below for the 69.
Oh, I think there's a couple of more flippers who want to sell it for 4K, and they're more than they're welcome to list it. I think they'll probably pick up a couple more if somebody lists it for below 4K. If you really don't want it, I'll take it.
So we haven't caught up in a spell. By the hopefully end of the month, maybe probably next month.
Sorry, before you go there, Randy, before you go there,
mm-hmm.
do you have any advice for me on how I should give it away?
I would make the because I've done hundreds of giveaways on this channel, and what happens is that if you do something like on the channel, say like, who was the, what year was the first appearance of Wolverine, whatever, and then people comment down below. Let's say if Bill Gardner comments the year, and then Collecting Fire comments the year, Bill Gardner's computer will show him as commenting first, and Collecting Fire's computer will show him as commenting first. Whereas I'll actually see who actually commented first. So if you do something like a live, which probably shouldn't do, just make that declaration beforehand. Be like, I will determine who commented first because it'll show up in actual.
No, this is not going to be like that. This is not going to be one of those. This is going to be a campaign level thing. So, just what's in my mind is I'll pick an MVP in terms of someone that contributed to the Blackpink, campaign. Could be somebody who produces content, could be somebody who owns spaces, could be somebody who brought in new blinks. Could be somebody who just posts AR and gets like a ton of attention. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, one idea is to just say if there's an MVP for the Blackpink campaign within our community, and whoever wins it gets that logo. And maybe I'll pick like a couple of finalists, and then people can vote on it. So it's not just me arbitrarily picking somebody, you know, that kind of, I mean, I can do that. Theoretically, it's my money. I can do whatever I want, but, you know, but I want to do it in a manner in which people feel loved, engaged, committed, you know, all those kind of things. But anyway, it's my honor, my pleasure to give. Randy.
Sorry, I was doing. So you said love, and I was doing like the Lady Gaga Bad Romance. Love, love, love. I want your love.
Wait,
So
you and I have to do a kind of one of those. Either we can pick a song or a dance, man. We'll do it in New York. How about that, man? You want to do it? I mean, I'm not good at either, but I'm
oh no, we
to...
could do it. Did you see the pictures I posted under OMI's space this morning?
Yes, on the pole.
I am no stranger of dancing.
I got a reputation here. All cameras have to be off. All cameras have to be off. It gotta be a freaking rule.
But it's like that old saying, like, oh, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, did it really fall? If we dance the sexy dance moves and no one's around to film it, did we really dance?
So I wear a mask then. So I'll have to do something. At least half my face gotta go, man. Because I got a real world life, and you know, can't go back into that world. And you guys all know my identity too. So that short circuit can happen very fast. So anyway, but yeah, well, let's do something fun, man. It'd be really cool. I don't mind, you know. Yeah,
that'd be great. So anyway, what I was about to say was that at the end, probably the end of next month, the reason I haven't been home in a couple months is that I'm working on this huge thing where I will potentially be able to get like another 60-ish million OMI, where I could get, I can get up to 250 now because I'm at like 185, whatever. So I'll be able to get up to almost 250, and if that can happen, then I will. Once we have OMI to NFT, which I've hypothesized that it would be by the end of Q2, and well, it's clearly not going to be in May, so I'm guessing June. June is likely going to be that OMI to NFT. If people can floor whatever they want, I will dedicate several million OMI to purchasing a bunch of undervalued NFTs. Now, Mr. MC1, you're a master collector, you're level 100, but I want to know, is there anything that you would maybe specialize in? Like, there are some people, like a lot of people go into physics, but not a ton of people go into quantum or theoretical physics. Not a ton of people go into applied. So when I take a look at Stacker and all of the amazing things that they've been doing, and I go and I take a look at, let's say, like the sub 100s of, let's say, like Marvel, they have a bunch of leaderboards over there. And if it would load, I would totally show you. But I've got the number 2 wallet, Mr. MC1. You slacking. You got some rookie. You got to pump those numbers up, Mr. MC1.
Oh man, like, you know, Randy, you know, as much as I love you for all this shit, man, like I gotta let me. Okay, since there's show and telling, let's do this, man. Let's do it, Randy. Let's do it. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Okay, so, there it is. Copycat. Yeah. Number two.
You're like the number 2 in the sub 100s, right?
Yes, I am.
And for Marvel or for everything?
For Marvel. For everything, I think it's a lot. I don't think if you go in top VeVe, the sub 100s, I'm number 32. I'm like nothing special on there. I'm just specifically a Marvel guy.
Yeah. All right. Hang on a second. Let me pulling up something. That's pretty cool, by the way. Randy, what did you buy that's got all your sub 100s, man? How did you do that?
Most of it's Marvel Mighties. There's like a couple of there's a bunch of Alligator Lokis sub 100. There's a couple of Fleur Kittens, but for the most part, the Marvel Mighties.
Okay.
So I have 19 sub 100 Cassie Langs. Like there's only 57 of those because the VeVe took 2 sub 100s outside of the 40. So there's only 57 instead of 59, and I have 19 of those. So I have like a third of them.
Wow. Wait, so I'm doing something here, not right here. Oh, there you go. Find Marvel.
Stidwax says, "What up, Bill?" Bill Garner says, "Stidwax." Stidwax says, "Love you guys. Such wholesome individuals." Already. Oh, stop it, Stidwax. Oh, stop. Thank you.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just pull up the app. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Show us the
Yeah.
6,000 collectibles you have.
No, not 6,000. Not
Well,
the
comics
6,000.
and collectibles combined. I'm guessing it's something.
No,
Similar.
no, not that. I'm going to show something else. So,
Oh, all right.
Marvel.
Bean Tech says, "That's so nice of you, Mr. MC1. Thank you for all you do."
Oh, pleasure.
Omar says Sanjay is about to pass you, Randy. Yeah, Mr.
No,
Let's see. You have 695. Oh my god. Oh my god. 695 Marvel comic number ones. Oh my lordy. Someone.
So I have only 2 secret rares, but I have 53 ultra rares. I have about 75 or 80 rares. I have 200 plus uncommons and 350-ish commons, brother. I bought like 9 ultra rares this morning. I was like, you know what? Somebody wants to sell me their Marvel Comics 1 ultra rare for like 100 some bucks or whatever it is. I'll take them all, man. Like, just take them all. And then I was like, I don't want to raise the price or any such thing. I don't want to, fool around in the market. So I'm just going to, pick them up in the middle and this and that. So I just picked up a whole bunch, and I got a whole bunch of ultra rares. I got a whole bunch of rares, a bunch of uncommons, some commons too today. But the commons probably at some point I'll probably go in and buy like a whole lot. Like the market, there's not enough in the market, So if I do any purchase in the market, if I buy like 5-10 grand worth of Marvel 1 on commons or something, there's just like not enough supply for it either. So I don't know. I gotta figure that out. But anyway, yeah. So I think I'm gonna hit 700 by the end of the week, man. So.
Oh damn, that is amazing.
Yeah, we're all collectors, man. If you meet anybody, like this whole audience you're listening to, right? Everybody's got freaking something crazy, like we're all crazy at some level. We're all crazy. Somebody has got something or the other, man. They're a specialist at, you name it. You just talk to them. They've got something.
Big A, I don't see your Loki mighty up here. You gotta floor that. I mean, let's say if it's 10x the price of the floor is $499. So yeah, put up for 49, it'll probably get bought. But yeah, Mr. MC1, you totally living up to your name there.
Oh, there you go, brother. There you go. Hey, Mark, how you doing, man? It's good stuff. Good to see you. Bill Gardner, how you doing, man? It's good to connect. Man, these guys are awesome, man. I love chatting with them. I chat with them in the DMs all day long, all these guys. So
yeah, we got some cool cats over here.
Oh, we got some cool cats over here, man. We got some cool cats. What a fun community too, right? A community, there's always something going on, man.
Yeah, we have so last night was Thursday. I just happened to have VeVe Fam Bam on, and then Tammy Hannah came on at like the 2-hour mark. But it's just fun. Like there's not too many other people that I can go and just have a 3-hour conversation with, and then outside of the VeVe community, because it's you have so much to talk about. You have so many things that you could bring up. There's been a lot of stuff. So the title is on this video. I don't know if you can see it, but VeVe has grossed $250,000 on Blackpink week so far, and that's just over the last 3 days. It's not including the previous days beforehand. Because Lisa happens to be the most popular, and Lisa hasn't come out yet. She'll come out in about 13 hours, give or take 14 hours.
Yeah.
We're likely to see another 50K, bringing us up to 300,000 in the course of just 4 days, not including the crafting that'll happen next week, the light sticks, the stages. What has been their favorite so far? Mine, I think, is probably the signature cards. But what about you?
I love the signature cards too. I just absolutely. I have, I think, 4 of each. Maybe the rosy one, I have only 3 of them, but I will get more.
Did you craft, or did you buy from the market?
Crafted one, bought 3 from the market, right? So each of them, I've crafted only 1. So I have 1 of each of the collectibles, and I crafted from that, and then I bought the cards from the market. I might pick up a few more as well, just at some point in time. So a couple of things, Randy, a lot of people the Web3 space, everybody has this drop mindset. If it's a drop, is it sold out and what's the price? And that's one measure of success. And sure, it'd be great if they sold everything out and those things were selling for like $400 each or whatever it is, that's, that would be great. But, in this market, the focus really is it's a funnel. It's a funnel. In the top of the funnel, it's an awareness campaign. You want tens of millions to see it. And the tens of millions that see it have to hit the follow button or like button. So that, that's the first step. It's the awareness. By the Blackpink ladies saying the word VeVe so many times and that being blasted in so many places from their mouth, their mouth says VeVe, that's a big deal, dude. Like there are 30,000 people in Instagram alone that hit, follow for VeVe.
Yeah.
That's the top of the funnel. That top of the funnel was pretty good. I think it's just getting started. At the end of this campaign, it's going to be huge. And this is just Blackpink. After this, there'll be other bands and there'll be other, stuff, great stuff. Then the next step is how many of these people downloaded the app, right? That's like you took action. Now, we don't know the numbers, but I'm hearing that's hard good.
To know.
We won't, but VeVe, and they won't tell anybody, but VeVe knows, right? So VeVe, essentially they're saying those are good numbers, but I'm not doubting that. And I think that conversion from a follow to a download is that next step of trial, if you will, right? And then the next step is to get them to buy. Now, remember they put out an email saying if you put your email here, you get a collectible or whatever it is in June?
Yeah.
That will create a lot of activity. That will activate a lot of wallets. And then that will then drive some action in terms of just people, to expect a Blackpink fan to come in and for 4 days to spend $200 buying things is not, this is not going to happen, dude. Like not the whole week. That means how many people have $1,000 in disposable income that are Blackpink fans that are going to spend it on 5 different days? Just that's not a yardstick of success. But what ends up happening is on each day you're going to sell a few of these. You're going to create awareness. You're going to have these campaigns, and then you're going to convert. The good news is, even if you look at the numbers of how many people that came in net new, not a big number, but it's 10x what it used to be. And in a bear market, if you're growing and you're doing better than earlier, that's a good thing, man. So anyway, look, the other thing to look at is the VeVe team. A lot of the members, I DM a lot of these guys, from time to time. A lot of these guys haven't slept for more than 4 or 5 hours in a day, man. Like for a whole week, they've been just literally, they have meetings, they're talking about strategy, they're connecting. Now, personally, I know a lot of, look, I've had an affinity for Asian projects in Web3 as well. So I know a lot of big kind of Asian female NFT founders and influencers and stuff like that. So I bought a lot of this stuff. I know them offline. So I've brought them into VeVe. I've connected them into the VeVe ecosystem. A lot of them are slowly getting started. They'll be my first campaign, which I've kind of introduced to Nicole, Itzy and Mom. I said, look, with big companies and stuff, it takes a while to get things started. So here, take $500. It's my gift to that community, right? Like, I don't mind writing that check. So I said, look, $500. I've already given it to you. Run something that educates that community on VeVe and Blackpink, and bring them in. And then VeVe is actually forming a full partnership with her on different things, and it goes way beyond. It's not just tied to this drop. And then there's a couple of others that I'm kind of working on as well. You'll see them coming into some of the spaces and stuff, Randy. But look, man, there's people working hard at it. It's not like a slam dunk, where there's going to be I'm a VeVe fan, dude. Like I'm with you, man, here, and I'm with everybody here, and we're going to help the community and the team. So yeah, we'll see where we end up. Yeah. And if you fail, you fail, man. So fuck it. If we fail, we fail. We just learn, right? We learn.
There's a lot of things to be excited about.
Yeah. Sure.
One of the things that now we don't know if this is David just saying, "Oh, this is what we want to do eventually," or if it's something that's happening now.
Yeah. No.
Because Blackpink was kept close to the chest. I didn't know about it until, I think we both knew about Marvel, but we didn't know about Blackpink until they announced it. So you could imagine that there's a bunch of other things that they're keeping close to the chest as well.
Did not know anything about Blackpink. Like,
same.
Didn't even have a clue, like not even a whisper. And I talked to David, I've met him in Austin. I even spoke to Dan. I spoke to the team. I spoke to freaking the mods. I spoke to everybody. Nobody told me nothing, man.
Now, one of the things that's been hypothesized by the
So
community for
pissy
a
about
while,
it, man. Like they could have at least whispered something in my ear, right?
something that David teased to me back in 2022, even though they've talked about it a while, but one of the things was a Netflix documentary. And David had kind of teased that in a space before. Do you think that is something that he's like, oh, is what we plan to do eventually in 5 years from now? Or do you think that's something that they're filming right now?
I don't know. So the one thing I do know is whenever I've met David, like in the last year and a half, like I gifted the guy a VeVe hat. I gifted him this hat. He doesn't wear the hat. Like I make him wear it, like I'm literally like, David, like I fucking bought you another hat, just wear this, right? I've made one without your mint number, so people know you're not walking with your wallet address on your head, right? So, but the hat he wears is a white one that says Sony Pictures.
I've seen
Sony
it.
Sony Pictures is not on VeVe, is it? Is there any Sony Pictures stuff on VeVe?
I don't know. I think that because of the shared license with Spider-Man, there might be one or two. There might be one or two things that happen to have Sony sign off. They originally had that in one of their things that they had posted like years ago, but I don't know if they've ever done anything.
Maybe not connected. Maybe not connected. But anyway, he wears that Sony Pictures thing.
I mean, he wears a SpaceX hat too.
That's true too.
Yeah.
You think him and Elon are friends?
So he, well, yeah, it's an old story. It doesn't matter. They were talking one day about just like the futters. People were like, oh yeah, you guys can't get it. Like it was before they announced Marvel. It was before they announced like anyone. And like, oh yeah, you have like a couple of these things, but you don't really like know them. You can't really get anyone on the phone. And Dave was like, we could get Elon Musk on the phone right now if we wanted to. And it's like, it was him just saying like, oh, we could if we wanted to. Okay. And I think he's tried. I don't know if he's been successful. If it's something that, because I know Elon, like I know more than 99.9% of the world about Tesla and about Elon, that this is probably something that he'd be for. It'd be probably, oh yeah, this would be fun. Oh yeah, you guys do that.
He's a digital guy, man. He's a digital guy.
Like if I were him, or if I knew him, it would be like, yeah, if you want, you want to design something, send me the final product, I'll give the sign off and just send me a check. Sure, that's fine. Especially for like X right now, because X is kind of bleeding money. They kind of need it, even though they fired like 8% of their staff. That would be something, oh, do this for X, and then I'll give you one of my older rockets for SpaceX, or one of my older things for Tesla. Because they already did that stuff with Tencent. Tencent owns like 5 or 10% of Tesla. They put them in all Teslas in all the video games. So they've done something like this before. They'll do something like this again, because I know Elon and I know this is what he would do. So they could be having he does wear a sleeping hat.
Who wears a sleeping hat?
David.
David, yeah, David.
Yeah. I also think that, give me a sec.
Damn, look at you, man. You're having beer and I'm having yogurt, man.
Oh no, this is Seagram 7 and ginger ale.
Oh, okay.
And this is my second glass. I've had anyway.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So they've been, I think we know, or if not, I'll confirm, they've been talking to Pokemon for years. And because I know Pokemon, if there's any one company that Pokemon would go with, it would definitely, oh no, my blanket, oh god. It would definitely be VeVe. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, Pokemon will either choose VeVe or they will do it themselves. There is no other option. There is no in between, because every other collectible space is in its infancy stage, is in its cube state. They haven't proven themselves yet, like VeVe. So, yeah.
Well, that's great, man. That's great. I mean, I'd love to see Pokemon on VeVe. I'd also love to see Tesla on VeVe or SpaceX on VeVe. I think to have like NFTs of concept cars and rockets and things like that would be fun. It would be great, yeah. And merch as well. I think that merch will do very well. We'd love to see a really cheap drop, like 5-10 gems with a super scarce item. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So users can, I love that idea. I think, all those email addresses they got and we get something, there should be a chase to that. So everybody who got that code or who gets whatever something, right? Like whatever, whether you get a pink or a black NFT or whatever, there should be some action there, man. I think the team's not done. I think they've got a lot of stuff planned, man.
So there's a reason why they don't do certain things. Do you remember the Dr. Octavius drop, the Doc Ock drop,
yes.
where they had a red metallic rare?
Yeah.
Originally, what was supposed to happen is that it was going to be like shinies. Like in Pokemon, shinies happen in 1 out of every 8,000 encounters for Pokemon.
Yeah.
But for this, they were supposed to have like 10 metallic rare variants out of the 6,000 thing drop or whatever it was. But they ran into something called like sweepstakes laws in the US where they weren't allowed to do that. So they just made it its own variant. Now, I love the idea of having something super cheap like they did with, I think on April Fool's Day with the Invisible Woman for the Fantastic Four. It was like $5 or $10 or whatever, or something super cheap. They sold X amount of them. They made a little bit of money. I would love to see them do more stuff like that. Like I think numbers would be great. Oh, have 0 through 10,000, have them $1 per one. They would be really cheap to make. But if you do any type of super scarce variant or chase item, I think that does run into sweepstakes laws, and I think that
I think there's some issues with that. So maybe there's still like the point is still a very valid one, right? You got to figure out the right mechanic to bring in people at a lower price point is the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. David did send some stuff in space, right? Was that a Pokemon card he put in space?
He sent 2. He sent I think Deoxys and like Mewtwo, or Deoxys and Rayquaza, something like that.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Good stuff. That's amazing, Randy. And we should talk about the Ecomi SR logo too. That group is coming along so well.
Yeah.
We have 260 plus people in that group, Randy, and that group, very tech savvy group, very tech savvy group. It's one of those groups where they're all crypto literate, very tech savvy, and the people too. Like a lot of people are very tech savvy. Very impressed, very impressed, because I onboarded all of them into the group, and so they've all, like every person that's entered that group for the most part. Maybe there's 2 people that maybe didn't chat with me directly. Out of the 260, I've chatted with every one of them to bring them into the group, and very impressive, very impressive, man, so impressive. And some of them, they don't talk much. You'll be surprised, man. We have award-winning professionals in that group who people don't even know who they are. They just stay quiet, they do their shit, but they've volunteered to do a lot of stuff with me on stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You have people that are not very vocal, like Sukna. You have people that are just behind the scenes, and it's such a lot. Like, I don't know if you remember. Well, I guess there's 2 examples I'll use. One is the $1 million website was from like in the late 90s or early 2000s, where it had 1 million pixels on the page, and for $1 you can choose a name or your website to be on that page, and it's $1 million. And then there was something on Reddit which says like, oh, if you pay $1, you can see how many other people had paid $1. I feel like the Ecomi Secret Rare logo is something that's very hidden, or at least the group, where if I were just falling in this, and I was just like, I was researching VeVe and I was researching Ecomi, and I heard us talking about this like almost like secret society of these super intelligent people from around the world, and what you can do for them. They have utility, you can learn from them. I would have no issue paying $1,500 just to check what they're about. And even if I didn't like it, I could sell it for $1,400. I get most of my money back. But you can go in, get this. This is what I envy a lot of other countries for, is that the US has something called the HB1 visa, where they bring in some of the smartest people from the rest of the world.
H1B.
Yeah, because we have
That's how I came.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know
No,
that.
I didn't come in with that. I came in as a student, but I went on an H-1B. I had an H-1B for
Yeah,
many
yeah,
years.
and then you know, we have the best colleges, and then
Yeah.
afterwards, you know, some stay, but then some go back. It's like
Yeah.
this is the HB1 visa of the Ecomi Secret Rare Logo Group. You come in and you can learn an infinite amount of knowledge, and then you could choose to kind of stay in that group and pass what you learned on to others, and et cetera. Or you can just, I'm going to take this knowledge and I'm going to run stuff. It's like in the military, some former gang members come into the military, they learn how to run stuff, and then they go back to their own, you know, and a lot of people stay in, they figure out a better lifestyle, but some go back to their old hoods and then they run stuff. It's, and I don't mean to compare Ecomi Secret Rare Logo to that, but it's just it's one of the things that happens.
No, but the intent is to create different, like if you look at the Ecomi Secret Rare group, right? So there's different channels in it. So each channel, so there's a mentor venture hub, there's like community benefit, there's all these other things, you know, VeVe app stuff. The intent is to kind of pick on certain threads in the group and create, and there's an OMI thread, obviously. So the intent is to build something, you know, like that, where you have like these extremely knowledgeable groups of people sharing alpha, and you're kind of absorbing a lot of that stuff in there. So anyway, we'll see how that whole thing pans out. But yeah, hey, you know, just a lot of love to everybody that watches Randy. This man is a really, really, you know, amazing guy. He's someone that just, his personality is amazing, and I love watching Randy. And he does the craziest of things, including buying OMI with all, like, you know, like yeah. But you know, there's a special place in this world for people like Elon and Randy, you know what I mean? They're all kind of cut the same way. You know? they go all in. They're all in.
We try. I get people that are just like,
you know,
I don't know. They're just like, so I went to Arizona recently, and people were just like, I don't want to say fascinated. I guess not enthralled. Maybe fascinated is like, because Crypto Rain, his wife, him and his wife came, and she's like, she was talking about an injury, about like her back, and she couldn't like lift certain things, and I was just like, how did you pour like milk for your cereal? And like everyone was like laughing. They're like, Randy, you're crazy. I was like, what? If you can't lift things, like how do you make cereal? Like how do you pour? Like that's one of the things. I don't know. Everyone just I don't know. They tend to find me in a certain, sometimes interesting, sometimes funny, and I'm just like, I don't try. It's just the way I think. I don't know. I'm glad you're here. Let's end this right now. Let's talk about a couple of things off camera. I don't want to take you off the take up too much of time. We'll end it here. Thank you everyone for coming by.
Can I say one thing, Randy?
Yeah.
So one thing, look guys, I mean, I'm supporting VeVe 100% as a member of the fam. The Blackpink IP may not resonate with many of us who come from different parts of the world, but it's one of the biggest IPs for VeVe to bring new people in. It's going to take time, and you know, I'm personally committed to helping them over the next, you know, the last week and the next another week or so. Like literally, I'm not looking at anything else. This is my singular focus, helping them. I'm in spaces. You know, would love to ask you all to help. Please join the spaces. You know, even if you're working or something and you can't speak, but you can listen for a little bit. Show up in the X spaces. Show up on the streams. The people, AR is one of the most beautiful things that you can do with the VeVe collectibles that the world doesn't know. It's not about Blackpink. They don't know. So we're putting a flavor on Blackpink, and you know, I'm so pumped about it. I'm putting my personal money into it. I put $200 a day the last couple of days. I'm putting it again. Some of the other whales have joined. Like literally, I've been giving her $200 a day, but I have other whales joining me. Tomorrow is $1,000 in one space in X, and there's lots of giveaways from VeVe and other stuff too. Please, please, please come and join. Show your support. If you see some good AR, just repost it, hit like, you know, do things like that. You may be disappointed about the drops. Don't worry about it, man. This is a marathon. There's a long race. We're bringing in more and more people. I'm singularly focused on, in this campaign, I want VeVe to bring in like this freaking insane community. And you guys play a very big role. Please come and support. If nothing else, you know, when you guys do stuff, I show up, man, for you, and I plow my heart, my love, my, you know, money, everything into it. So I'm doing something now. I want your love and support, guys. Please help. And let's do it together, guys. Let's do it together, you know. And that VeVe Gold logo, one lucky community will get it. And it's just we got to figure out the mechanics and the right person. But please, I'm putting a lot more into it as well. So let's go, guys.
Yeah, let's get this bread. Thank you guys for joining. This is great.
Thank you,
We'll
Randy.
talk to Mr. MC1 off camera. But thank you all so much. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow.